Happy New Year, guys, and all that stuff. I just want to show you how we started off our new year around 12:15 last night. You see we got a nice big hole in the window, and I'm gonna open the window to show you why. But that came through the window at 12:15, around 12:15 last night. Scared us to death. We didn't know what was going on. And my wife had actually been right in front of the window maybe 2 minutes before this came through. All right, let me get something so I can show it a little bit closer. But that is a bullet. A bullet came through the window that we were in the same room that we were sleeping in, just maybe 6 feet or so from our bed. Yeah, one of the most unnerving, things that you can go through, because we didn't know what was going on, but that's what came through our window. So just woke up this morning to see what the damage was. As soon as we heard it, we ran downstairs and we just hit the floor. So not the best way to start the new year, man, but that's what it is.
I'm playing one game.
What game? Let me see.
Let's see.
Show me how to play. Alright guys, so wife is cooking. Obviously this is not how we want to start the year off right. I mean, not right, with. I can't even talk right. It's a really seriously unnerving event when something like that happens. But unfortunately, we live in a city with a really high, just, well, not even high, what would you call it? Like a strong gun culture, I guess, where everybody's like holding guns. And on New Year's Eve, every New Year's Eve, 4th of July too, every New Year's Eve though especially, people like to just go outside and shoot guns in the air. Just, man, I can't even tell you how many people were just out shooting guns last night. And even just going down Facebook, looking at people talking about wanting to go outside and shoot their guns. But that's what happens when you just go outside and have a complete disregard for human life, because those bullets have to come down somewhere, and one came through our window.
Seriously unnerving. It went on for about an hour and a half, starting at 12. I dozed off around 10 something, opened my eyes at 12 to go and grab my phone, come back to bed to glass shattering a minute or two later. On the side where I normally sleep, but I wasn't sleeping near where the window was facing this time, so very thankful to not have experienced anything much worse. And then of course with the gunshots come the ambulance sirens, so unfortunately I don't doubt that we'll be hearing that somebody was injured on the news in a minute. Yeah,
hopefully that won't be the situation, but man, it went on for longer than half an hour.
No,
I mean, for an hour and a half. It went on longer than that. Now,
no,
maybe
the first hour it was just like it was consistent. Like you had some cannons going on out there. Like our downtown would normally have a fireworks show back some years, and you know it continued for about 30 minutes an hour. But this continued much longer.
Yeah, the bulk of it was maybe an hour and a half. Around 12 o'clock, it just kept going. But I heard gunshots going up until like 3 o'clock. And a few past that, because they just kept going and going and going and going. I didn't sleep last night. I may have gotten 10, 15 minutes last night because it just kept going. And I was looking on Facebook too, and I was just reading where some people were saying that they just slept on the floor and all this type of stuff. But it's crazy.
It's just shame they have to do that, but that's our norm.
It is.
For the holidays?
Not even for the holidays. We live in a city where we hear gunshots every week. Frequently. If you don't know what that is like, if you don't live in a city like that where you're just hearing gunshots congratulations. I want to be in your position. But that is, man, we work hard, and that is one of the reasons why we work hard, because we want to be put in a better position to maybe where we're not even in this city in the near future, because it is, it's bad here. I mean, we're in the neighborhood where I grew up, and it's, it used to be like a really just good, considered to be safe neighborhood, but just over the years it's gone down and down and down and down. And even in other parts of the city where you would consider it to be safer, it's really just not that great, because we came from one of the best zip codes. When we moved a couple of years ago and came back out this way, we were in one of the best zip codes. And even there, we experienced two drive-by shootings. The house 2 doors from us, and I know you remember it.
It was the night a friend of ours passed away, so in another part of the town.
In another good part of the city, one of the parts of the cities where you would consider to be just really great, and he was murdered that night.
And 6 hours later, here we hear shots 2 doors down. Loud, like
Seriously,
nothing I'd ever heard before. That close.
Yeah, we never heard like gunshots that close before. We really thought that somebody was coming for us, because it sounded like the shots were right outside, and they were using like high-powered rifles. And I mean, just, we got some stories. We could really write a book about a bunch of stuff that we really would not like to write a book about. We don't want to have to write a book about. But I mean, unfortunately, man, Memphis is a different kind of city. We live, man, we ain't even in the streets like that. We're not in the streets like that. But we've been in situations to where, me specifically, I've been in situations where I've had to draw my firearm a couple times. And that's one of our reasons why, man, got to keep the family protected. So we may not be here longer. We're just going to, man, have to see exactly how these cars going to play out.
Make some moves.
Yeah, it might be time to make them moves, because I don't know. But even like right now, where would we even go in Memphis? Or if we decided to get out of here, I mean, what do you think?
Gosh, I want to say back out east, which is within the 5 years that we did live there was a lot more peaceful, except for those 2 nights. But
yeah, but even
I
in,
consider the neighboring state over. I consider Mississippi at this point. Oh no.
What you burn?
Grease.
Oh Lord. As soon as I eat those, guys, I'm gonna make my rounds around a couple of the rental properties, especially out going towards North Memphis, Fraser, North Memphis, whatever. I'm just gonna see if it's the same situation out there where we find just a bunch of bullet shells, bullet casings just all over the streets. I did a video like two, maybe 3 years ago with Ben, where we came down a property that we were flipping the day right after New Year's Eve. It was the New Year, and me and him were flipping the property. And then I just showed along the streets where you just had just bullet casings all over the street. So I'm gonna drive by one of my vacant rentals and see if it's the same situation.
Yeah. Also, it's terrible. One of the deals that you guys had that I listed, someone was deceased outside in their car, straight across the street.
Very
my
much,
listing.
Very much deceased. And when she says deceased, murdered,
yeah.
Basically. Man, this city's different. We gotta do something. It's rough out here, y'all.
Make some moves this year.
It is.
Kick it up a notch.
2020, we did good. It was a rough year for us. I think it was a rough year for everybody. Everybody had some kind of just, what's the word? Experienced some kind of hardships. But 2021, we coming forward for real. Gotta come forward.